Hi everybody, this is Wade K. I decided to do this little video talking about my opinion on the new Spider-Man movie. I was doing a Photoshop meme to put on my Twitter and to send it to Fraps, and I decided, hey, let's talk a little bit about the movie because I actually been pretty quiet about it. Uh, I don't know why. I just didn't feel like talking about it on the social medias and all that. Talk privately with Fraps and with Telegram's chats and everything, but I decided to keep the opinion and not put it on a public forum yet because I wanted to talk to a little. I wanted to sit on the movie a little bit because my problem with Marvel movies is the fact that I really like them once I get out of the cinema, and then it takes me like a couple of days to get down from the high of the Marvel movie and uh, judge it a little bit more. Uh, let's say with less adrenaline in my body. And I was actually pretty happy with the movie when I came out of the cinema. By the way, I'm doing like a little Photoshop change, so that's why you're seeing here. You can imagine where am I going with this, but it's gonna be dumb. I'm just gonna put it on my Twitter, and I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I'm gonna put it on like shit post about comic book or something. So basically, my whole problem with uh, let's say with the movie is the fact that a little bit too much fan servicey, which I don't particularly mind to be honest, because usually the fan service in Marvel movie just limits to acknowledging the little fan service thing and just moving on. But here it was kind of incorporated into the story, which I really liked. I really liked that they give space. He had to stand on a background. You had to, huh? Uh, which is fine because they had to basically work around the whole. Uh, they had to work around all the limitations and the thing they had, and then made it so that it was very interesting to see. How they're gonna do it. The whole the whole the whole Spider-Man and how they were gonna handle it. I was expecting a Pizza Time joke, which I'm very glad they didn't went with because I was waiting for the dreaded Pizza Time, and instead it just that moment didn't came, which made me so unbelievably happy for it. Which, to be honest, I'm just gonna put the hell here maybe. What do you think? Kind of looks. There you go, better. Which I'm incredibly happy they went with because my let's say my problem uh with the movie is that I say it's a little bit fan servicey, but aside from that, I'm really happy with the product. And to be honest, it could have been much worse, and probably the best Spider-Man movie. Yeah, but spoilers, by the way. After already talking, um, I'm really happy with the ending. They really did the whole. Mm, now he is the Spider-Man we kind of the Spider-Man we kind of know, we kind of love, but no, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what we got. I just wanted to rant a little bit about the whole Avi Arad thing because not many people know that, like, of course people kind of people kind of have like, oh, Spider-Man 3 is a shit movie because Raimi is a shit director or something like that. Nobody says, but I'm sure there's people think that. uh, the thing is that Avi Arad was basically the reason we got like this incredible amount of like comic book movies back in the day, like in the 2000 and I mean the early noughties, and which is which is fine to be honest. I mean, he had an important role in the creation of like comic book movies because he was one of the few people to actually see the money that that were in there, because not many people were actually believing in comic book movies at the time. Which again, I can see why he got that oof, that oof worthy credit in the movie at the end, which is probably the reason we had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, was because of that credit. Like, I'm pretty sure if he wasn't credited like that, we wouldn't have seen it like this. Which is fine. Which is fine. I know. I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I just think it's weird. Uh, but basically, for the people who don't know, Javier Rad is the he was the CEO of Toy Biz, because during the 90s, when Marvel was bankrupt yet again, was bankrupting bank bank bankrupting yet again, they basically found themselves in another position of, mm, oh look, we are fucked again, we don't know what to do. And basically what happened is like, oh, let me just sell it again. And Toy Biz bought the whole thing. I'm not talking like movie rights or anything. Toy Biz literally bought like the whole Marvel brand. That's why we had so many toys coming from the Toy Biz angle. And I am incredibly incredibly stunned every time I learn about it. Like, a toy company had a very firm grip on Marvel, especially Spider-Man, because Avi Arad was always has always been a Spider-Man guy, which is something that always like weirded me out, because basically he didn't give a fuck about most of the other superheroes. I mean, he did, the X-Men and everything, but he kind of didn't. Like, he didn't care much about the X-Men or the whomever, Fantastic Four, or classic superheroes. They're very very popular with everybody except him. I decided I'm gonna do it as the Crown, so it's gonna have to do it again. I'm sorry. Which again, I'm not really complaining about, but you know, the animated series, for all the good it, how good it was, the 90s one, the one with the Aerosmith, was it Aerosmith? The Ramones? No, I think it was the Aerosmith team, Spider Blood, go and eat some Spider Blood, that thing. I was really, they had many problems with it. Like, for example, it was supposed to be the Goblin thing, for example. Like, now one that I can say on top of my head, like they wanted Hobgoblin to be before Goblin, because basically they did a mistake and they sent to print the action figure before it was ready, in the show. So they had to basically write around in the show that basically the toy was supposed to, which classic stuff that happened now with Disney, by the way, is not something exclusive to back in the day, but it's something, stuff like that. And it always amazes me to see the job John Semper Jr. did as a showrunner with that thing. And it was basically a little miracle that we got a show that was actually nostalgic and people really loved now, which is a little miracle in and of itself, because if you know the history behind it, it was kind of an odd, like it was kind of an odd thing to happen back in the day. And that's basically the problem that brought to the Spider-Man 3, the whole Spider-Man 3 with Venom, because the Avi Arad was very big on Venom. Like, he thought Venom was the hottest property they could have. Basically, what happened is that they wanted to have uh, they wanted like to have a Venom spin-offs already, like after Spider-Man 3, but nobody wanted to come back to do that, so it kind of morphed naturally into what is, even if like 20 years later, 10 years later, or maybe longer later, uh, and basically translated to oh. He basically translated mm, to the Tom Hardy Venom movie. And I mean, I know I'm basically ranting now. It's a video about me ranting and spouting like spouting like stupid facts about Kevin Feige and Avirad and whomever. But like that's the reason some of this stuff happened. Some of the reasons we have what we have, and to be honest, I couldn't be happier with what we have right now. I mean, I could be happier if they did like the Clone Saga or some crap like that, but I am happy with what we have. What we have, I'm glad we have what we have, and I wouldn't do it any other way for now. There is still a little bit of there's a little bit that needs to be resolved, but for now, I think that I can rest well knowing that at least they tried to do a Spider-Man movie instead of like having this just basically trying to have something that resembles a Spider movie, but they had to move around this minefield that was handling the rights because they couldn't use this, they couldn't use that, and the whole Uncle Ben thing. It was because they couldn't. I don't remember who said that in what interview or whatever, some reports. But basically, they couldn't use the Uncle Ben character, which is crazy because like you're doing a Spider-Man movie, you can't use Uncle Ben. So they just ran with it until the end and went like, oh yeah, you know what, we're not gonna use Uncle Ben at all, and that's how it is. Again, I completely understand on the filmmakers' part what they're trying to do. The poor John Watts. Uh, Poor John Watts had to basically get the credit for all these movies, which the first one was alright. I really like Homecoming. Not really the biggest fan of Far From Home. It was a little bit. I don't know. He had some very good scenes, but that's it. Mysterio was kind of a wasted opportunity, to be honest. Oh, look at this big fucking head. But no, 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 no. At the end of the day, I'm happy for what we got. And I'm glad Avi Arad is gone now, so we can focus on, like, not focus, but we can. How big is the head? How big is Napoleon's head? Ah, fuck! I should have deleted him. We can focus on finally on the good things about this. Ah, shit. We can focus about this, the good thing that finally can come from this, and the good Spider-Man movies we're gonna have, and have it like a single guy in a a universe, and instead of like him being connected to everything like it is. And I'm very hopeful for the future, which is not something you hear me say a lot, especially about comic book movies, but I really am. Like, I really am hopeful for what's gonna come next, because I genuinely hope that they're gonna do great. They're not gonna fuck it up, and they're going to kind of try at least to give us good Spider-Man movies instead of like playing who has the bigger dick, which was something that Mr. Permuta, if you know, you know, was kind of known at doing. Like he would very often find himself like ruin purposefully various. This is great. He was ruining various uh, franchises just because they don't have the movie rights, so they don't need it. Like X-Men, uh, and Fantastic Four and everything. Again, I understand it, but you could have done it in a different way. I'm sorry, I'm just ranting here for like 10, 15 minutes. I was just, I just wanted some company while I was doing this and talked a little bit about everything, which is like a little bit of a rant, but I'm just gonna put it on the second channel so nobody will see it. And, well, nothing else to say. Thank you for, I guess, stopping by. See ya.